Michigan versus Bobby Harris.
Mr. Harris.
File number 23-01243FY.
Assistant Public Defender Sarah Donnelly on behalf of the defendant for the purpose of arraignment only while they appear separately from Lansing Police Department. Moment.
Mr. Harris may not be available at this time.
I'm right here. Sorry.
Okay, Mr. Harris, you can hear us clearly?
Yes.
Okay. Mr. Harris, were you sleeping?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you're awake though now and you're alert?
Yes, I am.
Are you under the influence of anything at this time?
No.
Are you sure?
I was over the influence of my pills yesterday, but
Okay.
I don't have them no more.
Okay, sounds good. Today was the date and the time that was set for an arraignment, sir. I have a felony warrant here. It alleges that on or about April 18, 2023, at the area of 420 South Grand, City of Lansing, Ingham County, State of Michigan, that you did allegedly, contrary to law, commit the act in count 1 of police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The allegation is that you did assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Kate, police officer of the Lansing Police Department that you knew or had reason to know was performing her duties, and that this was done contrary to Michigan Compiled Law 750.81D1. That's a felony, sir, and the maximum penalty is 2 years and/or $2,000 in fines. A consecutive sentence may be imposed under MCL 750.506A if the assault was committed in a place of confinement, or under MCL 750.81D6 for another violation arising from the same transaction. There is a count 2 of attempted police officer assaulting, resisting, and obstructing. The allegation there is that you did attempt to commit the following listed offense, and in the attempt did act towards the commission of that offense, but failed in the perpetuation or was prevented in the execution thereof, and that this was contrary to MCL 750.92. That is, that you allegedly assaulted or attempted to assault, batter, wound, resist, obstruct, oppose, or endanger Officer Ethan, police officer of the Lansing Police Department that the defendant knew or had reason to know was performing his duties, and this was done contrary to MCL 750.81D1. That's a misdemeanor, maximum penalty 1 year and/or $1,000 in fines. Upon conviction of an attempted felony, the court shall order or may order, it says shall, the court shall order law enforcement to collect DNA identification profiling samples. There's a count 3 of trespassing. It says that you did remain without lawful authority to remain on the lands and premises of the CATA after being notified to depart, therefore, by CATA Security, who was the agent or the owner of said land or premises, and that this was done contrary to MCL 750.552. That's a misdemeanor. Maximum penalty is 30 days in jail and/or $250 in fines. Sir, do you understand the charges there and the penalties attached to each of the charges?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have the right to be represented by counsel. Ms. Donnelly from the Public Defender's Office is representing you for the purposes of your arraignment today, but you have the right to have an attorney represent you at each stage of the criminal prosecution, and you have the right to have an attorney represent you if you're questioned by law enforcement. If you cannot afford to hire your own attorney, you can make a request to have the Public Defender's Office appointed to represent you at the expense of the public. Do you understand your right as it relates to representation in court?
Yes, I do.
Okay, is he making a request for court-appointed counsel?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Harris, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say, anything you put in writing can be used against you. You have the right to plead guilty, you have the right to plead not guilty, and you have the right to stand mute. You have the right in this matter to proceed to a preliminary examination because count 1 in this matter is a felony. The time of your preliminary examination, you have the right to have the prosecution establish that they have sufficient probable cause that a crime was committed and probable cause sufficient to charge you with that crime. You have the right to have a preliminary examination within 21 days of your arraignment date. That's today's date. And at the time, well, that date can only be changed if you waive the 21-day timeline or if the court finds good cause to go beyond the 21 days. Do you understand those rights so far, sir?
So yes, shook my head, yes.
Okay, I need to hear you.
Now you gotta know, I just shook my head, yes.
Yeah, I can't hear a shake.
Okay, you can see me though.
Here, do you hear me?
Yes, I do.
Okay, do you understand what I've said to you so far?
I said yes. Over and
Okay,
over
thank you.
again.
Use your words. We're off the record. Our computer is shut down. Give me just a moment.
Said give her a minute.
I did say that. I mean, I just said hello. Y'all can stay out of my court. I'll sit back down to your own thing. I just talk to my.
Settle down, Mr. Harris.
They just said something to me. I said something back.
I
I'm
said
running
settle
back.
down.
They're always telling me to settle down. They doing their thing by getting them into my business.
Stretch.
Okay, we're back on the record. Okay, now, Mr. Harris, you have the right to proceed to a trial in this matter. You have the right to a jury trial at the time of trial. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. So you're innocent until the prosecution can prove you guilty. You have the right to have them prove each element of the charges being brought against you beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. You understand those rights?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You have the right to see, hear, or question any other witnesses the prosecution intends to call. You have the right to call your own witnesses or present evidence at trial that you believe would further a defense to these charges. You have the right to remain silent at trial and not have silence be used against you. You have the right to be considered for pretrial release from custody. We'll address your bond in just a moment. But do you have any questions about your rights at this time?
No, I don't.
Do you have a home address, sir?
I did, but I don't know if it's still working out. So,
You don't
so
know if it's
no,
still working out? Where were you staying?
I was staying at the Mission.
Okay, the one at 607 East Michigan?
Right over there in Kalamazoo Mall.
Okay. Do you have a phone?
No, I don't.
Okay. Are you currently on probation?
I'm not. I think I'm not. No, I'm not on probation no more.
Okay. For the purposes of his arraignment, is he pleading not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, one moment. Ms. Till, can I put you and Ms. Jackson in a private meeting room?
You can, Your Honor. Thank you.
You and Jackson. I'll put her in room 1.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. You're currently scheduled for probable cause conference before Judge Tony Flores. It's going to be April 27th at 9 o'clock in the morning. That can be via Zoom or in person, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And then you have a preliminary examination before Judge Flores Thursday, May 4th at 9 o'clock in the morning. Did you get a copy of notice to appear for those dates?
Yes, I did. They're right here.
Oh, okay. And your preliminary examination will be held in person at the court.
Okay.
We'll adjust your bond in just a moment. I have the people of the city of Lansing versus Bobby Harris, file number 23-01042. And then I have the people of the city of Lansing versus Bobby Harris, file number 23-00778. Both of these matters, sir, you have a warrant, bench warrant on both because you failed to appear for your court date. You were scheduled to be before Judge Flores on April 17th on both of those matters, and you failed to appear. Did you forget that you had court?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Well, on file number ending in 778, that would have been
Excuse
the
me.
second time.
Can I say
Your Honor,
something?
he did report that
I
he
did-
has
I did
seizures
not
and he was in the
forget,
hospital
But
on
I
Monday.
did have a seizure. Yes. I did not forget, but I did have a seizure, so I went straight to, they took me straight to the hospital right then and there. And I just tried to get back to y'all when I got out the hospital. Yes,
You were in the hospital, so you were in the hospital on the 17th?
yes,
Okay. And so you also failed to appear on file number 778 back in March. So that would have been the second time you failed to appear on that file.
yeah.
When did you get released from the hospital, sir?
I got released on 17th, yeah,
On the same
17th.
day?
Yes.
Okay, why didn't
So
you
I
contact the
did.
court then?
I did go to the court, but it was early, not early, but late. And they said it was over. It was all over. I remember going to the
Eh,
last point of
Okay,
it.
you spoke to someone at the court, they said it was all over,
Yes.
and they didn't give you a new court date?
No, they did not.
Oh,
I think they told me, but I did not remember that either. Yes.
gotcha. Mhm. You can address bond counsel.
Thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Harris reports that he's essentially living on the streets. And that he has some health problems. He does also have other dates with court just as soon as he has pretrial conferences on Monday. So given those, Your Honor, those circumstances, he's also not working or receiving Social Security at this time. We would just be asking for an appropriate bond based on his circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you. Bond and file number ending in 778 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01042 will be set at $100 cash surety. Bond and file number 23-01245 will be set in the amount of $500 cash surety. While out on bond, sir, you need to make sure you appear to all your future court dates. You're not to engage in any assaultive or threatening behavior. You're not to use any drugs or alcohol without a valid prescription. You're not to travel outside the state without approval of the court. You're not to possess a firearm or any other dangerous weapon. And you need to report to pretrial services within 48 hours of your release from custody on that. Do you understand?
Yes, I do.
You have any questions today?
I do not.
Okay, you're all set. Thank you.
3.
Thank you. Hermie, thank you.
No problem.
Mr. Harris, can you hear us?
Mr. Harris, okay, he's, that's something with jail. Yeah, there's no sound on his, or we're not hearing him.
One moment, please.
I am going to be requesting a forensics petition on this case. I don't have it with me unfortunately yet, but.
Do you not read my notes?
Is your note to do that?
You're right. You're good.
Mr. Harris, because you're being referred to the Forensic Center, we're not going to have a court hearing today. I'm just going to bring in the paper to send to the court. So your hearing is done today. You're not gonna go in front of the judge, okay?
Under the judge, we're not supposed to be getting out today.
You were not going to be getting out today. Nobody ever
Why
told
am
you
I
that.
not? Why? What is going on?
You're being referred to the Forensic Center for an evaluation.
What is that for?
Make sure that you're competent for the case.
How am I competent?
Okay, sir, that we're in the courtroom, so we can't discuss this any further at this time, okay?
How am I competent? What is wrong? What is wrong with me? Nothing is wrong with me. Nothing is wrong with me. How am I competent?
Okay,
Yes, I just asked a question. Can you answer it for me, sir? How am I competent?
that's all I'm saying for today. Thank you.
How am I competent? You didn't give me no type of answer. Can I please get an answer? Hello? Hello? How am I competent?
Mr. Harris, one moment. Your attorney will join you in a private room. Just one moment, please.
What is going on here? I don't know what is going on here.
Mr. Harris, your attorney is logging into a Zoom, and I'm going to put you in a private room where you can speak with your attorney outside of the courtroom, since we can all hear you and it's recorded in here. So just one moment, please.
You said that, ma'am. Yeah, I heard that. You just said
Okay.
that.
Okay, then please quit talking just a moment.
Times to me now, ma'am.
So wait till they.
Heard that, sir. You could get out now. Yeah, yeah, so I can talk to you now. I don't